All right, so I have a little bit of a facsimile of this house. I think I'm going to play with one or two more elements before we do a little bit of landscaping and maybe some stuff with materials and pretty this up. So I've got this staircase selected. I'm going to tab to enter edit mode. I'm going to make sure I'm in face select mode. Holding shift, I will select those two faces on the edge of the walkway. E to extrude, and I'll push 2. Yeah, I think that'll make like a nice little patio area back here. So I'm going to tab to get out of edit mode, select the other staircase, tab into that guy, and do the same thing on this side. Hold down shift, select those two narrow faces, E to extrude, 2. All right, great. So now I'm going to hold down shift to make sure I've got each of those two selected. And then I'm going to do a control J. And that should have these now as one individual item, even though they're not connected. But let's go ahead and connect them. So I'm going to tab to go back into edit mode. I think I'll go into edge select mode in this case. I'm not worried about doing it totally and completely, but I'm going to select this edge and holding down shift, select this edge. And then on my keyboard, I'm going to push F, and that'll fill the whole face in. Now, it didn't fill in a complete volume in the round. If you look closely, you'll see that there's a gap here and there's a gap underneath. I could go ahead and fix those, but in this case, I'm not going to worry about that. All right, so I'm going to tab out of that. And then the next step is there's this feature for adding columns. I already moved my 3D cursor up here to an approximate spot where I think would be a reasonable place for columns. We'll play around with that and see. But if I push column, there it is. I can adjust the top radius and height. Let's maybe... No, actually, I think I want the height to be a little... Let's do something a little more squat. Because I think I'm going to do arches with this as well. Let's adjust the base height a little bit. Maybe make that a little thicker. Same thing with the top. Let's do a 0.2 here. And yeah, okay, that sounds great, or looks great. So down here, I can create an array of these guys. By default, I think it does 2, but last time I was playing around with it, I had a count of 5. Let's add... I'm also going to create top arches and see what that does to space things out. All right, so the top arch... Well, the thickness is... Let's take a look here. I don't know if I like that much. Let's start from scratch, shall we? Actually, I should have just kept adjusting it, but that's all right. So I'll re-add the columns, and let's take a look at it from the side and make the thickness... Actually, you know what? No, I will leave the thickness that way. That's okay. I can always change it after the fact. And then the gap in the arc... Oh, yeah, I like that a little bit better. Okay, so something like that, I think, actually. And maybe we'll add a few more columns. Yeah, something like that. That's kind of fun. So I'll go with it. And I think from here, I can adjust things manually. I can just grab on the arches, and I'm just going to do a grab on Y, slide it over a little bit, and then enter, and then I think I'm going to do a scale on Y. A little more like that, and then maybe grab on Y again and just kind of butt it into the house, more or less. And there, got some fun little arches happening. and they're not lining up quite with the house. So let's go into it. Let's do this. I will select all of them. I'm going to go into X-ray mode. So that way when I select, it should select all of them. Then I'll go to top view by pushing 7, zoom in a bit, and let's just go ahead and grab this by pushing G, and I'm just going to use the arrow keys to sort of slide things over and center it. And then maybe let's just scale it down just a bit, huh? Might get a little wonky, we'll see. Let's grab again, slide it over, and take a look. So there. Anyway, got a fun little courtyard area with some columns in there as well.